this week I've been looking at the pots in the garden, and there was one particular pot that keeps on attracting my attention, probably because that's exactly what it needs. And it's a mint plant that is, not that it's too big for its pot, but I suspect that the pot couldn't withstand the frosts and it's broken, and the plant is now appearing to grow out of the pot. It's falling out of its pot. It really does need some attention. And I thought about it again when I was given another plant this weekend. Very pretty little primula, very delicate, and presented in quite a sturdy pot. Quite nice contrast, delicate plant, very fragile in appearance, and quite a chunky pot. Really fun contrast. And I gathered a few of my pots together and thought about them. And I thought about them in light of one of the episodes of The Chosen that we watched, which focused in on the disciples. And it's quite early on in Jesus' ministry, and the disciples are quite new to this. And they're prickly and not very easy to get on with. They evidently don't all get on very well together. And yet, it makes it very clear that Jesus sees something in each one of them that is quite unique. And he calls it out. He sees it, he sees them, and he believes in them, and he draws out of them all that is beautiful. He draws out the very best in them. And I guess we know that that is what Jesus does to us. He calls us to become the very best person we ever could be, which we can't do on our own, but we have to do with him. And if you look at my plants, you will see that there are some that are going to flower. There are some that need weeding. There's the pot that's broken. And there's some that are bright. There's one that's painted. And there's one that doesn't appear to have anything going on at all, except if you look really, really closely, there are tiny, tiny signs of life. And the thing they all have in common, in spite of their differences, is that they all have life. And when Jesus gives us his Holy Spirit, he is placing his life inside us. And so I'm challenged by my pots. I was certainly challenged by this episode in The Chosen of how do I treat other people? Do I see them for the pot? Do I look beyond the pot? Am I able to see them with Jesus' eyes and see the potential and see the beauty that God has placed inside each individual? And I want to see others with the eyes of God. I want to be able to say that you have the life of God in you. And for a Christian, we know that we have the Holy Spirit living inside us, God's Holy Spirit. And I want to call out of the people I meet all that is beautiful. I want my behaviour to be such, my words to be such, that I call out what is the very best, what is good, what is lovely in each one. So as I deal with my pots next week, as I repot, as I do bits of pruning, as I do bits of weeding, I'm going to be praying that I can see others and treat them with the same care, see the life inside them and treat them with that extraordinary care, with that love, with that insight that Jesus has, and call out the gold, call out the life that is there, hidden, covered by weeds perhaps, needing to be nurtured, but it's there all the same.